Hello and welcome to yet another video. Today I'm going to cover India market analysis and also give you a very good analysis of how to find a strong sector and how to find the strong stocks from that particular sector. So that, as you know, in this channel of Peaceful Weekend Investing, I come and share with you all the insights so that you become a better investor and trader, and so that you have a full control of it. My name is Shivendra Bhatia, and I keep coming up with the regular videos on investing and trading and psychology and various other productivity tips. So if you like our videos, do consider subscribing and hit the notification bell, and also like this video so that we get encouraged, and also we get this YouTube algorithm also feeds to other like-minded people. Now, I want to apologize that last week I couldn't release a video because I was not feeling well and I was having a COVID and it was really terrible, but I'm back in action. And I got a lot of feedbacks that I should cover sector analysis of different countries, whereas because I'm based out of Australia, but I invest in India, US and Australia market. So I will try and split those analysis for different markets so that it becomes easier for those who only focusing on specific markets. I hope that will be useful. Write down in the comment box below if that is something which will benefit you, so that it also gives me the feedback. So let's get started. So what we're going to do, I'll share my screen. So let's share. Let's do, as we say, Peaceful Weekend Investing is all about invest with a plan, not with a feeling. And this is my mission, to help professionals like you to invest in stock market like a pro. So let's first quickly share that. 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to cover is India weekly analysis, India market weekly analysis, and also I will do a sector analysis in front of you, give you all the step-by-step process. At the end, I'm going to share about some of the stocks which I am looking at it for the Nifty or India market for this week. As you know, market has been a little bit resilient for last week, but then again, we should not get carried away, but we have to do our own objective analysis every week. So before I start, I would want to give this quote, and this will be a very relevant quote for this particular market scenario, which Warren Buffett says, and we try to decipher from these statements what we can take out of it, because everyone understands differently. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not the intellect. Yes. What does it mean? It means that you need to have the right temperament, patience to be able to be part of the market and not get thrown away, carried away with various analysis going on different in social media or the media itself. So you need to don't need an intellect, or you don't need a big intellect or IQ to be an investor. All you need is right patience, a right amount of temperament to be part of the market. Okay, so that's something hopefully will get you some insight. Let's also do that analysis with the temperament on Nifty. So here's my screen. If you haven't not considered subscribing, I would say first subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and also give a thumbs up as well. That'll be great. Awesome. So let's do a first of all Nifty analysis. Okay, and I've just drawn some of the few things so that it becomes easier, because otherwise it becomes lengthier. So as you can see here, I was doing some analysis and I want to share this. And this analysis, by the way, I do it for myself as well, so that it's easier. Now this is a weekly chart. I'll put it a Nifty weekly chart. Okay, and let me make it bigger so that it's clear. What am I looking at it? As you can see here very clearly, right? As you can see, I want to just grab my pen so that you can focus there. As you can see, there was a complete channel. This channel which I've drawn, it was a channel which is Nifty was going up, and as you can see the median line. But the Nifty analysis, when you look at it, it is a headline index, and it's also important when you watching this video, you also remember I'm recording this on 10th of July 2022. So keep that in mind, because then your analysis could be wrong, right? But second part of the video which I cover should not have any impact, because that is the sector analysis I'm going to do. So stay till the end. Now, as you can see here, Nifty went up, and after the correction which happened sometime in October 2021, ever since it's in downward sloping channel on weekly. And you can see there's a middle line here, and the Nifty is in the downward sloping channel. Now, for me, it is very, very important that this channel has to be able to take a good investment bet. You have to, first of all, understand this market still is in downward trend. That's one thing. If I take it on the daily chart, which will give you more perspective, in simple Dow theory says that you have to make a higher highs and not lower lows. And you can see here very clearly on a daily pattern, when the top was formed, which was around October and November 2021, and thereafter you had one peak, another lower peak, and then another lower peak, and this is the one which is the fourth one. It's making an attempt, and since then it is in lower peaks, so it is not as per the Dow theory higher highs. So for me, the trend could change if the Nifty sustain above 16,7984, which is in higher high, right? And that is where, if it closes above, then I can see the trend has changed temporarily. Again, there are different resistance levels which are there, but for me, that is something which I'm tracking. Again, I can be completely wrong. It's all probability theory. So you do your own analysis. I've given a complete disclaimer at the beginning. I'm just sharing what I think is works best for me, right? Now, let's quickly understand. So you hope this was something which was useful to you. And now, a reason why I consider Dow theory, because the Dow theory has been in existence for several decades or hundreds of years, and it works perfectly if you follow that of higher high formation and the lower low formation when the trends are down. And that is a very basic fundamental analysis. And if you want the video, I have to share with you the complete analysis about it. Put a comment box below that you're looking for it. I can make another video specifically around that. Okay, and now let's go back to our Nifty analysis. So this is what the Nifty analysis looks like. Let's look at some other sectors which are, we do our analysis separately on different sectors, and you can see here, and I will show you very interesting analysis as well. So let's look at the weekly, because we look at weekly analysis. I hope you are able to see that. Let me zoom it a bit. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is Nifty Bank, again going on sideways. And then we got let's expand a bit. Okay, Nifty, we have done the analysis. CNX IT, which is IT, again it is in the downward trend. This is a weekly chart, so small cap, and has a bit of again, as you can see from the low formation. This market, I would say, I will share with you some of my own trades which I did last week. And again, I'm very, very much cautious at this moment. I'm not taking any specific big trades. And this market is SIP related market. Nobody knows when the bottom will be formed. Nobody knows what the top is. You just have to consider using this opportunity. And what I'm going to be sharing in second half will actually give you the perspective of what stocks you start making a list for when the trend changes completely, which stocks which will be start breaking out first. And in these markets, you only do SIPs specifically on companies you have a full understanding. Their business model have not been disrupted, even though the market is in sideways or downward trend. And that is the best time where you start accumulating those best companies which have a great future in terms of and predictability in terms of their revenue, right? That is the most important thing you have to do. And that's why you have more and market gives you enough time, so nothing to rush about. There's nothing about FOMO, and stay away from all those temptations which are being thrown away at you through various groups, channels, and By the way, I do have a VIP Telegram channel. If you want to join that, I'll give a link below. I don't share a lot of analysis because only specific which I think is more genuine I share that. Otherwise, I'm not bombarding with a lot of of those that I know it all. I'm also learning in this journey, so I'm sharing what I like about this analysis. So let's look at something very interesting here. I was doing some analysis. Let's do so all of these ones. Okay, I wanted to share with you something about CNX Auto. I think auto is something which is breaking out. As you can see, everybody is talking about the auto and saying this sector is kind of breaking up. But you need to understand the big picture first, and that big picture is something you will only know when you do this kind of analysis. Now, as you can see here, this is let me take a monthly chart so that way it's easier. And please stay focused on my mouse here pointer. As you can see here, this is in 2007-8. As you can see that from the top, the market, the CNX IT Nifty Auto corrected 62%, and I'm talking about the index here. Okay, so it corrected 62%, and likewise we had another correction which started off in 2018. It also almost corrected to not almost there 62%. So it retraced it to 62% and then moved up. Isn't a coincidence, or it is like a pattern? That is something you have to consider that. And this is not a log chart. As you know, when we look at the long-term charts, we have to look at log chart. Then really you will understand this very clearly. You can see here how beautifully it is giving you this perspective that in Jan 8th, the index, Nifty Auto Index corrected 62%. Likewise, after almost 10 years, it corrected again 62% and reversed from there. Now it is kind of at this moment, trying to break out. What does it tell you? And I don't know what exactly at this moment, what was the reason behind. I'm sure because it's a cyclical nature, auto industry. So obviously that was the reason where it corrected. And barring there was some corrections here, which it traced around 25%, and then we had a sideways of around again 23%. So you know the pattern here: 62%, 20%, 25%, and 62%. That's as simple as that. You understand that, you know the market psychology of how the participants are behaving, and this is the pattern, right? But there's no guarantee that will repeat in future, but I'm just sharing this view that gives you a perspective of what happens when this corrects. And even if you look at the Fibonacci levels, and I can guarantee you that it'll be there. Let's take the Fibonacci level here, and I will just reset it. And you can see the Fibonacci level it retraced. Just 1 minute. Just I will not do the retracement. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's. So the levels which is coming back is almost close to 60.61, which is a golden ratio, right? If I have to make these lines extend right, and so that you get a better picture, you can see here it almost touched 68.618, which is golden ratio, and reversed back. And it had at some levels where it got resisted, and this one. Okay, yeah. See here, so now it's almost coming to the zero level, but you had this two key levels broken. And if you look at it, let's look at what analysis says. So if you have to learn, I can't make the video small. I just want to make sure that you understand this, and this is important because once you have this analysis in your control, you can always do that. And again, this was 780. It has a deep correction at that point. So there's no specific pattern here in Fibonacci levels, but again, the key levels are from there, and you have to just find out and use this opportunity, right? So that's about I want to share quickly on the golden tip in terms of look at the patterns, how the particular stock or index retraces, and what are the patterns you can find out, because those are the mental models you have to keep in mind as you look at it on weekly basis analysis. Yeah. Now, I think auto is definitely in strong momentum, and commodities obviously correcting after there was a sharp falls in various commodity. And let's now do some quick analysis. Now, write down in comment box below, after doing all the analysis on various sectors, which one you think you're tracking, which is as strong momentum at the moment, right? And I was told that even I'm not seeing any great momentum other than these CNX here, auto, oil and gas. Yeah. So keep an eye on CNX auto. So let's try and do the second part of the video, which is how to find the strong stocks in CNX auto index and how should we do about it, right? Are you ready for that? Type ready if you're ready for it, because this is going to be the very powerful one in terms of you doing the analysis yourself. So what I've done is very quickly, okay, I've downloaded just to keep, and you can also do that. I have a subscription of Stock Edge which in India market, but you can do very easily. All you have to do is, let me quickly show you how to do that. If you have any subscription, then you can do that easily, but let's try and do this here. Okay, so what you can do is you can just simply go to a Nifty auto index. So you can go to this link, which is basically equity stocks and equity stock watch. Okay, you can just copy this link, equity stock watch, and select Nifty auto. Okay, and there's sectoral indices, and you can get all the analysis of all the stocks in the auto, right? And you can have the same way for various other sectors as well, which is pretty useful. I will show you how to do this in Excel very quickly. Later on, I'll make a separate video. But for now, you download this in CSV. Once you download that in CSV, you can, and I have made one separate one, so which has ancillaries as well. What you do is you add a new column. Okay, just are you following with me? I'll just zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. Now you have to build this. So what you do is write equal to, okay, and you write double quotes open, and write down NSC colon double quote close. Then you write ampersand, and then you select the symbol which is there, which is A2. And it's not going to be difficult, just follow this along and you should be able to do that. Write again ampersand and open the double quotes and put a comma, double quote close. So you just follow this one, and whichever column you have it, and you can do it for any sheets. And once you press enter, you will get this link automatically built. You just drag it down, okay, and you have this particular link built. All you do is just right click, copy, and go to your trading view, and I will open that trading view now, and you can create a new list, and you can give a list name. So I'll say India sector auto. And cool tip, if you type Windows in, because I'm using Windows key and press dot, you will get symbols, shortcuts, which you can add it here, like I added here. So I know that it is automobiles, and press enter. And once you get it, your new list is created. I will leave the link below. If you don't have TradingView, guys, this is something you're missing out. So please subscribe to TradingView if you can afford it, and you can get a lot of analysis. Now what you do is you're now trying to add the symbols. So when you click on the plus sign here, because this is a new new watch list, and you plus sign, just copy that list which we have created. All I did was I went in here and just copied this, right click copy, and paste it here, and you press enter. And then you have got all of those stocks which are there, except barring one or two which you can manually do that, like Bajaj Auto and Mahindra & Mahindra. This will be always a problem. So you just, what you do is type Bajaj Auto and Control W, it'll add it, watch list. And Mahindra & Mahindra, select that and Control W, it'll add it to the watch list, and you can delete these ones. Now Nifty Auto is the index. So what we can do is, now what we have to do is, once we have this list with us, okay, so now we got all the major automobile companies which are there. Again, you can have ancillaries also. I have made another list which is specifically basically for all the ancillaries also added in it, so you can have it separately also. This is how I maintain that, so that I know, right? And I maintain every sheet separately for each of them, how they're performing. But now let's do quick analysis. Now you can see here, we got all the list here in front of us. What we'll do is we'll add the relative strength. You know what relative strength are, right? Type in the comment box below what is there, and select one which is a Bharat Trader, which will be easier one. And what you do is I do a slight modification to that. I'll remove the moving average. I don't need that. And I would, instead of Nifty, I want to see whether CNX Auto, it is outperforming, right? So type auto index, and you'll see CNX Auto, right? And what you do is, if you want to do it, copy again. I have a paid subscription, so I can have multiple ones. If you don't, then you will have a challenge. I will add Nifty as well in the second one. I want to see both. It is outperforming both the sectors, Nifty as well as auto segment as well, right? So I add this here. There we go. So now you can change the 55 days to 123 days. I prefer looking at slightly longer term here, and then I do it here, 123. Okay. And now what you do is you can take a weekly one or daily, depending on what it is. And you want to look at 123 days. It should outperform both the Nifty as well as index. As you know, relative index is comparing how fast is your company vis-a-vis the sector and the overall broad index. As you can see, Tata Motors is let me see what's the problem. Yeah, Tata Motors is not outperforming both of them on 123 days basis. Let's look at TVS Motor. So you can see here, it has started outperforming both Nifty and Auto, and ever since it has outperformed. The blue line is outperforming, red line is zero line, which is if the stock is below that, it is underperforming the sector. So for TVS Motor was underperforming the sector for the period, this period, and that was for 15 days. And after that, ever since it has come in a blue line territory, you can see the results were phenomenal, and it has given ever since 33%. So TVS Motor is outperforming. Now MRF is coming into, it has started outperforming Nifty, but not CNX Auto, so that should also likely follow. So keep an eye on it. It's also forming a nice pattern, which is also worth noting down, right? Again, I'm just quickly going through, so I don't want to make the video big, but you got this analysis of how now this is kind of an wedge formation which is happening in Balkrishna, but it is underperforming the auto index at the moment. So we want both these sectors. Now Hero MotoCorp, if market start moving up, you see this particular stocks, what does it tell you? It tells you that it has outperformed both the sectors. Best means if you have invested in these companies, you would have done better vis-a-vis the market, not in terms of correction terms, in terms of how much you would have uphold your investment. Because if market has corrected 15%, your stock would have corrected 10%. So you have outperformed by 5% the market. But what is important is that market participants are telling you that this is having a strength in the market, right? So you have to go through all of them. I have done my analysis for this weekend, and as you can see, this particular Bosch is also coming in. So you can mark it. You can just right click and mark the labels and keep tracking it. So that way you get a better picture. Like, you don't have to depend on like Mahindra. Look at that, right? Ever since, you don't have to ask anyone. If somebody says, hey, this stock is doing well, you just come and check whether it's doing better vis-a-vis the market, broader market, or that particular index, and you get the answer story by yourself. Look at here. Ever since it has come in a blue line territory, the stock has given almost close to 40% and it's extended, right? Same way goes Bajaj Auto. Likewise, Bajaj Auto is, I think, is a good pick because it is in the blue line territory. Relative strength is good and it's on the sideways. So keep and watch on it, Bajaj Auto, right? So I think this is what I wanted to cover for today for India market. I hope you find it useful. And if you find it useful, write down in comment box below what are the key takeaways from this video, right? I have given you such a strong thing in your hand so that you can do all the analysis, and I love to see your analysis and stocks which you think has been performing better, and I will personally go through all of those comments and revert back to you. Thank you so much and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.